In early January 2025, a series of devastating wildfires erupted in Los Angeles County, particularly affecting the Palisades, Eaton, and Kenneth areas. The most significant of these, the Palisades fire, ignited on January 7th and rapidly spread due to strong winds and dry conditions. By January 12th, the fire had consumed over 30,690 acres and destroyed approximately 10,000 structures, making it one of the most destructive in the region's history. Tragically, the fires resulted in at least 16 people are confirmed dead from the two biggest wildfires devastating the Los Angeles area, and officials expect to find more victims. Additionally, 13 individuals remain unaccounted for.
It felt like you were in a scene of a volcano movie. You saw embers flying everywhere, wind gushing at 90 miles per hour, going left and right. It was like fire bombs everywhere, and it was just exploding and burning. Philip comes by, flashing a flashlight, telling me, "Oh, we gotta go, we need to get out of here." So packed up the family, left. When we were leaving, I noticed that my sister's car was still in front of the house. The next day, come back, her car is still sitting there, so I had to go back to figure out if you know, she was still there. My cousin, brave as he is, said, you know, I'll go and see what's going on, and he took a shovel, climbed over the debris, and started moving stuff around. And from there, he saw like a hip bone, and just, that's when he knew that she was there.
And over 153,000 residents have been evacuated from their homes.
There was no help, no fire department, not in our area. We didn't see one until now that they're coming by.
On the flip side of that, I can sit there and say, well, you need to do something about the homeless cabins. A lot of the fires lately, especially in California, are the homeless. Also the dismanagement of the forest. It's just a situation like this. You had the Palisade fire start, and then you had this one start. Now you're stretching the resources.
The firefighters, they're stretched thin up here. They've helped as much as they could.
But you're really not going to stop a wind fire like this.
Bro, I've never seen anything like this. It feels like literally like an apocalypse. This is my old elementary, engulfed in flames right by my mom's house. Yeah, bro, everything's just going to shit right now.
We were here for over 40 years. Now it's all gone.
Just seeing stuff like this just brings me to tears, bro. I just had to go water down my homie's house, took his bird. Homie was just chilling. He left him there because he left him last night.
Damn.
I can't leave animals there, bro. No animal, no life gets left behind.
The fires obliterated numerous neighborhoods, including affluent areas like Pacific Palisades, Brentwood, and Encino. Almost every structure north of Sunset Boulevard reduced to ashes. Among the destroyed structures were historic landmarks and cultural institutions such as the Altadena Community Church, Community United Methodist Church of Pacific Palisades, the Eaton Canyon Nature Center, and the Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center, Topanga Ranch Motel, and multiple schools. The Getty Villas surrounding vegetation caught fire, though the main building remains intact. The celebrity community was notably impacted, with several high-profile individuals losing their residences. Paris Hilton's Malibu home was destroyed, and she expressed her heartbreak on social media. Anthony Hopkins, Jeff Bridges, Billy Crystal, Leighton Meester, Adam Brody, and Eugene Levy also lost their homes in the fires. Other affected celebrities include Milo Ventimiglia.
You were aware the house was gone. What's it like to then stand here?
Heavy. You know, you start thinking about, man, it hits you so quick. You start thinking about all the memories and the different parts of the house and whatnot, and then you see your neighbors' houses and everything kind of around. and your heart just breaks.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Miles Teller, and Mandy Moore. Actor James Woods initially believed his residence was destroyed, but later discovered it had miraculously survived. Similarly, Bill Hader learned that his home was spared after assisting a news crew covering the disaster. The financial toll of the wildfires is staggering, with damages estimated at approximately $150 billion. This figure encompasses the loss of property, infrastructure, and the extensive resources deployed to combat the blazes. The origins of the fires are currently under investigation. While initial reports suggest that the Palisades fire may have been sparked by downed power lines due to high winds, authorities have not ruled out the possibility of human involvement, whether accidental or intentional. The Eaton fire's cause remains undetermined, with investigators exploring various leads. However, in the case of the Kenneth fire, a homeless individual was apprehended by local residents and later arrested on suspicion of arson. The suspect was reportedly using a makeshift flamethrower to ignite debris, leading to the fire's outbreak. Authorities are treating this incident as a deliberate act, and the suspect is facing severe legal consequences. Given the scale of destruction and loss of life, there is significant public interest in understanding whether negligence or malicious intent played a role.
Now live, the chief of the Los Angeles City Fire Department, Kristen Crowley. Thank you for talking to us today. And we're just going to get straight to the nitty-gritty because there's been so much talk. And you're aware of the criticism.
Yes.
Most of the criticism has been directed towards the city of Los Angeles, towards Mayor Karen Bass, but it's also been directed towards the administration. Everybody loves firefighters. We love our men and women on the front lines, but the administration is another thing, and they've been very critical of the way everything has been handled. Your reaction when you read those tweets, those messages, those emails?
I tell you, my reaction first and foremost is to step back and remind myself that I'm not a politician. I'm the fire chief of the greatest fire department in the world. So my focus, first and foremost, is to make sure that our fire department, our firefighters are properly funded, they're properly trained, they're properly equipped. So when it comes to the criticism, since day one, my number one priority has been and will continue to be that our firefighters get what they need so that they can serve the community. That is number one. I am going to turn down the noise when it comes to any type of criticism because every decision that I make is going to be based off of what my firefighters need.
And those lives are on the line. So let's get to the big question, the budget. There's so much talk about it. It was cut $17 million. It was cut this. It wasn't cut at all, according to one newspaper. Was your budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025 cut?
I can tell you, I'm going to even go back further than that. Again, since day one, we've identified huge gaps in regard to our service delivery and our ability from our firefighters, boots on the ground, to do their jobs. Since day one, this is my third budget as we're going into 25-26. What I can tell you is we are still understaffed, we're still under-resourced, and we're still underfunded. So with that, whether it's $7 million, $10 million.
But was the budget cut, Chief?
Yes, it was cut. And it did impact our ability to provide service.
Let's talk about that memo. You sent a memo, a scathing memo, to the Board of Fire Commissioners where you expressed your concern that you were not going to be able to do your job. Your firefighters would not be able to respond adequately to a major emergency like a wildfire, like what we're seeing right now.
Right. So understanding where our services gaps are, number one, is understanding where our firefighters need in regard to their equipment. Now, let's focus back on what our people need, and what they need to be is properly funded and equipped. Whether it's $7 million or not, it doesn't matter. It impacts our ability, just like you said with the board report, of our ability to provide service, and that's on a normal day. Our firefighters are running over 1,500 calls. They're transporting 650 patients a day on a normal day, let alone the last 3 days of what we've had with significant impacts that have changed the communities that we serve, their lives forever. So with that, We're going to continue to fight for what we need to. That is my job as the fire chief of the best fire department in the world.
In December, you wrote that memo. You said that these budget cuts were going to severely affect your department, from everything from brush clearance checks to make sure homeowners were doing what they needed to do, to fire hydrant checks. And yet you heard the mayor just yesterday say, no, those cuts did not affect the ability to serve and would not have changed anything in this situation. What is going through your mind? And I know this is difficult. There are a lot of politics at play. You are not a politician. You are the woman responsible for all these men and women at LA City Fire and for our residents in the city of Los Angeles. When you hear the mayor say it didn't affect anything at all, what is going through your head? If you can share that with us.
Sure. So just full transparency. Again, my position is to make sure that our people get what they need to do their jobs, and also, mind you, that they get to go home to their families. The amount of calls that our firefighters are running today has doubled since 2010, a 55% increase with 68 less people. Full transparency, this isn't a new problem for us. Since the 3 years that I've been in the seat, I've sounded the alarm to say we need more. This is no longer sustainable. So with that, we're now in a position to be properly funded. We are screaming to be properly funded to make sure that our firefighters can do their jobs so that we can serve the community that we took an oath.
But when the representative of the city says the cuts that were made and signed did not affect the response to the fire that is being criticized, the response that is being criticized by so many people, what is going through your mind?
Yeah, just again, the full transparency of the documentation, of being able to sound the alarm.
Does it make you mad?
I don't know if it makes me mad. In the end, that is my job as a chief, to make sure that my voice is heard, and my voice is amplified from the needs of what our people need to do their job.
In the aftermath of the fires, the affected communities have demonstrated resilience and solidarity. Efforts to rebuild are underway, with local and state authorities coordinating relief and reconstruction initiatives. The disaster has also reignited discussions about climate change, urban planning, and the adequacy of existing infrastructure to prevent and mitigate such catastrophic events in the future. As of January 12th, containment efforts have made progress, with the Palisades fire reported to be 11% contained. However, challenges persist due to forecasted increases in wind speeds, which could exacerbate the situation. Residents are advised to remain vigilant and adhere to evacuation orders and safety advisories issued by authorities. The Los Angeles wildfires of January 2025 serve as a somber reminder of the region's vulnerability to natural disasters and underscore the imperative for comprehensive strategies to address the multifaceted challenges posed by such events. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.